Good evening, everyone. I welcome you on behalf of Operant Pharmacy Federation. Today's webinar on intellectual property rights in the era of COVID-19. As we know, intellectual property rights are the important things in perspectives of as an researcher, as an industrialist, as an academician, because what we are doing in our laboratory, what we are doing in our, what we think having in our mind, so we have to reserve that. How we can reserve these things? So that's why we choose this topic, intellectual property rights. So as a researcher, I can see the things what we are doing in labs. That is important thing. We have to reserve those things for future perspectives. So that's we have today's speaker, Dr. Paresh Dave, founder and director, IP Moments. So let me take pleasure to introduce you today's our speaker, Dr. Paresh Dave. Dr. Paresh has an overall experience of 20 years with 10 years in research and development and has been active in intellectual property field since 2006. Before founding IP Moment, Paresh worked earlier with the highly reputed IP companies from 2008 to 2016. Paresh is also working with the corporate startups, individual inventors to maximize their IP potential of technical disclosure and development strategic intellectual property assessment. Also help companies to identify, protect and maintain their IP including patents, trademarks and copyrights. Press have particular experience in the field of chemistry, catalysis, pharmaceutical, biophysics, mechanical, printer, 3D printing, food supplement products, infant food products, beverage technology, personal care products, cosmetics, biochemistry, biotechnology, and immunology. Dr. Press holds a doctorate degree in chemistry from Central Salt Marine Chemical Research Institute, India. He also holds postgraduate diploma in intellectual property rights from NALSAR University of Law, India. After completing his doctorate, Dr. Press worked as a postdoctoral fellow at three different labs: Weizmann Institute of Science, Israel, Miami University, Ohio, USA, and University of British Columbia, Canada. Dr. Press has published 19 research articles in internationally reputed journals such as Journal of American Chemistry Society, Chemical Society, Biochemistry, Legmir, Biophysics Journal, etc. Today, now I welcome to Dr. Paresh Dave on behalf of Operant Pharmacy Federation to start our today's session on intellectual property rights in the era of COVID-19. How intellectual property rights play a key role in era of COVID-19. Latest we see the article of the ventilators that is invented by someone else and who selling someone else in the market. So all the things important in the IPR, we have to rights, we have to protect our IP. So that's today's session with Dr. Paresh Dave. On I welcome you, Dr. Paresh Dave, on behalf of Operant Pharmacy Federation and also as a IP Moment follow IPR knowledge partner. Please, Dr. Paresh Dave, start today's session on IPR.
Thank you, Vikram, and I am very glad to part of the collaborator with OPF and to bring these our webinar to all of us. So when I choose the title uh, of our presentation, so today's my title is Intellectual Property Rights in the Era of COVID 2019. So when I use the word era, that means that what is that era, whether we are already, have spent, a lot of time in some situation and then we come up with this one. But it feels like, since December 2019 to now, only 4 months are passed. But if we look at our, situation and our daily life, it's almost changed in whole world, that means that this is kind of era we are living in, and we are going to see majority of changes in our lifestyle and the way we think and the way we work and the way we collaborate and the way we have international relationships in the with the different countries also. So this is one kind of era you can see we are experimenting and we are going through this one. So now, what is the role of the intellectual property rights in this time, So that I have just put up some slides and some informations, and today I am going to talk about this. So I am very glad to bring this to OPF and our friends, So that content of my presentation today will go through this one. That first I will glimpse upon, that different types of intellectual property rights, and then what is the antiviral markets and global players are there, and how the different technologies in the time of coronavirus, this COVID time, what are the things are there, and IPR offices have made some announcements, so how it is going to affect, and then open COVID licenses are there. So what is that one? And some litigation is also going on. So first, let me explain, what is intellectual property rights. So I will quickly brief upon this, because as I understand that many of you must be already known, about the intellectual property rights. What is that intellectual property rights? So intellectual property rights, that is according to the WIPO, World IP Organization definition is there. That World IP refers to the creations of the mind, such as inventions, literary and artistic works, designs and symbols, names and images used in commerce. So these are the different intellectual property rights are there. First is inventions, then literary and artistic works, and some designs. And what are the logos, the names we used in the daily commerce or daily, trading purpose we use. And intellectual property rights are the rights granted to the creators for their intellectual property by the government. So what are these main intellectual property rights? We have in India, we can say. So there are six intellectual property rights are there. First is patents. So patents, as we know, it's granted for, it's given for the inventions or innovations. So whatever the new innovations and novel inventions any inventor can brought, so then they can get it for the patents. Copyrights, so copyrights is the for the author and for the writer and artist, whoever are creator, like some painters are there, so they create those paintings, etc. So those are coming under copyrights. In India, we also have copyrights for software also. So software programming is under coming under copyrights. Then trademarks are there. So whatever the business, whatever the names, logos are used for the trading purpose, so those called trademarks. So if we look at any logo or any company name, we immediately recognize their products and their services, etc. So these are called trademarks. And fourth is industrial design. So industrial design is that whatever the look of that particular product is there, so ornamental look is protected. Let's say I will give you example, some car models are there. So if we look at the car models of the luxury cars, then immediately from their model we recognize that this car model is for this particular company. Or let's say for the shoes, Nike shoes are there. So we look at the design of that Nike shoes, we can immediately recognize that this is made by the Nike. So those are coming under industrial design. And then fifth is geographical indications are there. So geographical indications are there that any particular products, okay, or any particular things are there that is specific, originated from any of the region. Those are called geographical indications. In India, we have example of Assam tea, and Rasgulla are there. So Assam tea is only Darjeeling tea. So those kind of tea only made, only can be cultivated in particular region. So that's why they have particular, fragrance and particular property about the tea. So those are coming under geographical indications. Then integrated circuit layout designs are also one of the intellectual property right in India. So now how IPR is involved, in the with the economy. So here some data I am representing. You can see that first graph, clearly shows that contribution of IPR intensive industry in the European Union GDP. So you can see that 45% contribution is there in GDP of European Union by IPR intensive industries are there. These are around 6.6 trillion euros value per year, it's contributed through IPR intensive industries in European Union economy. So these are the data from 2018. Not only the contribution in GDP, you can also see in the second graph, that how much contribution is there of IPR industry in the overall contribution. 39% is employment is given, is provided, by the IPR intensive industries. So 84 million jobs are created, which are based in IPR industries. So there are majority of contribution. You can see that in European Union GDP and employment is from IPR sensitive industries. Not only in Europe, now we can see the example in US also. In US also, these are the data of 2019. You can see that 38% contribution is there, IPR intensive industries contribution is there in total GDP. Not only this one, you can see that 27.9 million jobs are created in United States, which are coming from the IPR industries. And then 52% of the products which are exports, from the US, those are IPR protected products or services are there. So you can see that in day-to-day life, in any countries, major economy or any developed country's economy, IPR is playing a important role. So now this is today's situation, Now we are living in the world, as I say, era of COVID 2019. So since these started in 2019, means December 2019, that whole thing has changed. So how this IPR is going to evolve with this one, and what are the factors and what are the examples, I'm going to share with you. So intellectual property right, as I've said, patents, copyright, trademark, industrial designs is the foundation for a thriving consumer society and a significant driver for economic growth. Most importantly, for right now, it is the engine to help the globe out of the coronavirus pandemic. So if we want to come out from this pandemic, we require to get support from the IPR also. So what is uh, patent? That is definition is also given. Patentable inventions are granted to its inventor for excluding others from making, using, offering for sale, importing for this purpose patented products or processes. So whoever is the holder of that particular patents, they can exclude others from making, using, offering for sale, and importing goods or any processes or services are there. So these are the right granted to the patent applicant. So now we can see the history, that how it is related. So we can see that polio vaccine was invented by Jonas Salk. So Jonas Salk, when he has invented this polio vaccine, then they have not protected by IP. So it was freely available vaccine to all, to the world. So we can see that how fast everyone can get access to this polio vaccine, and now we can see the results also, that how this vaccination is affecting to the daily life worldwide. So this is one of the examples. Without IP protection, polio vaccine was launched to the market or launched to the public. Then next example I have given, PCV13. So this is pneumonia vaccine is there, multi-strain pneumonia vaccines. These are particularly administered to the babies. This is IP protected vaccine. So you can see that this vaccine, it cost hundreds of dollars because of protection by Pfizer pharmaceutical company. So you can see that freely available polio, the results are there, and pneumonia, vaccines where the IP is protected. So these are the two, examples you can see. And then flu vaccines are also, developing, and then many countries are working under, WHO's global influenza surveillance and response system. So under this system, they are working towards this development of the flu vaccines and around 110 countries, different laboratories, from the 110 countries, they are working, collaborating together, and they are meeting, twice in a year, and to analyzing, whatever the outcomes are there. So these are the histories, but now, now time has changed. Now we can see, different headlines are there every day. So this slide is from the earlier days, so it may not be that much, covering up, but you can see the headlines, how the coronavirus is affecting to the world economy, and how the different countries are, struggling to survive into this one, and they are facing, different issues like pharmaceutical supply and other products also, and other things, they are not getting used to be vaccine drugs. We don't have any vaccine or drugs also. So those are the things are there. And then early news, we can see that when in January, February, this pandemic started, then they came to know that Roche is having, IPR protection for reagent or buffer, which is already used in polymerase chain reaction. So that time, Roche was hesitant to give, freely access to the different, kit manufacturer, whoever are manufacturing the kits. So they were worried about, that without IP protection, means they had protection, how they can release to use, by different companies who are making the COVID kits. And then early times, when these started in January, the two drugs they were recognized, these promising drugs, they can be used for the treatment of this coronavirus. So Favipiravir and Remdesivir. So in the early time in the January, this Gilead and Avigan also refused to give access to the different companies and different countries, of their medicines or their drugs. They said we are holding the rights, we won't give it. But these are the, starting in January it happened. And now we can see, that is pandemic time, how this IPR protection will work, and what are the different options are there for different countries, So how different countries can come out from these IPR protection of different products, So first is that they can government, any government, they of country, they can ask for the compulsory licensing. They can make a change in their laws and their arrangements in the. They can make it, changes, and they can make, arrangements in their law in country wise, and they can grant, compulsory licensing. Vikram, am I audible? Okay, because I got some message, so that's why.
No, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So compulsory license, one of the immediate, you can say that one of the immediate remedies there for the different governments. So they can issue, compulsory licensing of the patented product. So those patented products can be used or can be manufactured immediately. Those products by the government recognized, companies. They can start manufacturing. They can start marketing also, and they can start, selling also. So compulsory licensing is one of the remedies there for the governments. They can ask, IPA protected companies to allow their patented products to be used, to be manufactured by the government recognized companies. Second thing is that voluntary pledge by IPR holder. So IPR holder is there. They can voluntarily pledge, they can pledge that, okay, my IPR is there and I am pledging this to be used, in the pandemic time. So anyone can use it. So there are voluntary pledge is also happening. And then is stop protection for products or processes. So government also has remedy, if they find that any mischievous companies are there or mischievous inventors are there, they are trying to protect their IPR instantly in the particular pandemic time. So government can stop them, for and stop, or they can hold, that they would not allow them to protect their IPR rights. So in this time also, there is one more problem is coming, is drug price control. Because whatever happened, that all this focus is there on virus and pandemic, but at the same time, there are many patients are there who are going through, different problems like asthmatic problem, heart problem, liver problem, cancer problem. So they are required, daily drug, they require medicines for them. So government can play a role to control the price of those drugs, whatever is already, in demand, and whatever is heart medicines are there, etc., cancer medicines. So those medicines, they can make available to the public at the cheaper rate, and they can control, drug price control. Because what happened that if all focus is there in the coronavirus medicine and vaccines, then no one may focus on the drug prices. They might increase pharmaceutical company of the normal medicine, whatever are available. So government can also think about, and they are also trying to control the drug prices. And then next is data exclusivity. So this is also one of the area, where government and different countries, they are making efforts, because data exclusivity is there, that let's say that some company, pharmaceutical company, they are doing some clinical trials are there, and they are, protecting those data, they are not sharing those data with any other company. So those kind of things, data exclusivity will be there. So that government, or countries, they will allow to share those data of the clinical trials, etc., by with the other research groups, etc., are there. So this is also one of the important part, that different scientists and researchers and pharmaceutical companies, and medical association, they can share, data and easily transfer, and they can use those data, for development of the treatment or of vaccines or drugs for the COVID-19. And we will see some examples also. So this one, you can see this slide, I'm just highlighting some of the products or technologies used, particularly in this COVID 2019 time, So we see the medical equipment, daily news comings about the ventilators, So many ventilators company, and then many researchers, they are working on development of ventilators, and some companies, they are also making, ventilators and some small devices by 3D printing. So these are the important areas there. Then testing kits, of course, testing kits, these are important. Like different testing kits are there, like antibody testing kits are there, PCR based testing kits are there, and many other swab based technologies there, and rapid kits are also developing. So these are the things are there. Then accessories are there, like PPE kits are there. So whatever the protection, equipments are making or using, those are also one of the important products in this COVID time. And sanitization tunnel also, Now we can see every day we are seeing different news, that small companies and single inventors or innovators or colleges, they are making sanitization tunnels also, and medicines also. New pharmaceutical company or researchers, they are planning to, develop the new candidate of medicines and vaccines. Of course, we are saying in everyday news that this coronavirus vaccine, if we develop, this will be the one of the fastest vaccine we have developed. Means we means world has developed. And then repurpose of the drugs. So we know that repurpose of the drugs, already well-known drugs, used in different purpose, like HIV/AIDS, and we know that quinoline also, they are also started to use, for the not for the treatment but prevention of or treatment of this COVID, And as I discussed, the data exclusivity is also important in this time. And now we will see in this um, section, that antiviral technology and how, what are the, who all are the different, major companies are there. They are working currently. You can see there are two lists are there. So one is gray colored columns are there. One is yellow color. So gray color is showing, that portfolio size is there. So top 10, players are there according to their portfolio. Portfolio means number of patent applications or patents are there. Highest one. So those are on the top. You can see GlaxoSmithKline. They have the highest number of patent, and then Johnson and Johnson, and then Merck. So in this order, I have placed, 10 top players who are holding the portfolio size. You can see that Roche is there at the ninth position. But if you see the yellow color bars, or that you can see, Johnson and Johnson is at the top, because that is according to, one of the software developed by the LexisNexis patent site. So they have given some kind of value, how the patent based upon the technology, based upon that number of years and other parameters. So they are assessing, that how the patent, each patent is important and what is the weightage of that one. So that called patent asset index. So in that one, you can see Johnson and Johnson having the highest number of patent asset index, means Johnson and Johnson's patent application has more value than compared to GlaxoSmithKline. So these are the graphs, Johnson and Johnson, then Gilead Science, and then Roche is there. You can see Roche is according to number of patent application is at the ninth, but you can see that patent asset index, Roche is there at the third position. And this is the graph, you can see that patent asset index, how according to year wise, they have developed. You can see Johnson and Johnson, they were holding, around 1100 patents in the 2011, and now they are holding, in 2019 around 2600 patents are there. And Johnson is at the top, and then you can see that Novartis is there. Novartis earlier they used to have 550 patents in 2011. Now only they have around 500. So they are not working much on this antiviral technology, and they are not focusing on this development of the antiviral technology. You can see Gilead is there. So Gilead earlier in 2011 they only had 600 patents, and now in 2019 you see, they have 2000 plus. So from 600 to 2000 plus, they went in 7-8 years. And this graph is very interesting, where you can see the competitive index, So how these different companies, they are working in their particular area of antiviral technology. You can see Gilead and Roche, they are working very close in the uh, same technology area, while Johnson and Johnson is totally working in the different area. You can see Merck and GlaxoSmithKline, they are working in very close relevant technologies. So this graph shows, how closely they are working in their technology development in each field, in subfield, in antiviral technologies. So you can see these are the main companies, top 10 companies are there who are working globally in this pandemic time, for development of antiviral medicines and antiviral vaccines are there. And now we can see, what happens that when the patent application is filed, it goes to the patent office, and then patent office, they examine the patent application and they grant a patent. And then each time, when you got a grant, then you have to pay for renewal fees for that one. So that is different cycle of patent application or patent cycle, you can say. So every patent holder, they have to continuously focus, and they have to continuously see, how their patent portfolio is going on, and they have to see, how this patent portfolio and how their patent applications current status is there. So what happens that all around the world, different intellectual property offices are there. They have officially indicated that they will be in empathetic when considering extension request in the wake of COVID-19. So what happens that, let's say I give example that you are filing a patent application and some due date is there for responding of patent application, to the patent office. And then this uh, date is fall in between this, pandemic time when lockdown is going on. So all around the world, many patent offices are closed or they are working with limited staff. So your any of the due dates are falling under this time period. So patent office has announced, they will consider, that if you are delaying this one of responding to any of this one, they will consider your request and they will allow you to respond later on also. So this slide shows, that different extended statutory deadlines, that whatever the deadlines are there, the different patent offices already extended. And if any renewal fees payment is also due, then you can pay due later on also. Not only that, that some of the patent office like Canada and Ecuador and Chile, so they are also working, how to proceed, immediately, that whatever the uh, hurdles coming for the COVID-19 patents, or maybe COVID-19 patents related, already granted patents. If any issues or any litigation comes, so they are accelerating, those things immediately. Like if any company is applying for the compulsory licensing of any drugs, which might be very promising for the use in a COVID case, then the Canada, they are accelerating to grant those compulsory licensing also. So not only this, Brazil, they have initiated, COVID track one kind of thing. So what happened that if you file any patent application which is related to COVID-19, then Brazil will get, examination and grant of that particular patent application immediately. Nowadays, we also might have seen, that research articles published, related to COVID very fast in different journals also. So different societies, they are also publishing, uh, research articles or data related to COVID very immediately as soon as you send them to them. So not only that, as I discussed, fast track appeal process for compulsory licensing for COVID-19 inventions and IPR matters. Many countries and patent offices, they are tracking, procedures related to COVID-19 patents. So what are the compulsory licensing? I am giving some examples in this one. So ABBY is there. That is one of the, a non-government organization, non-profit organization worldwide. They have made it, So they have patent related to Kaletra. So Kaletra patent is there. So they have, announced, globally that anyone can use their patented product. So they have a make commitment, that all steps necessary to remove any potential barriers, including dedicating to the public our intellectual property right related to Kaletra. So Kaletra related any patent application or patent do you want to use, anyone has freedom to use it. They have to apply for that and they can immediately use it. So there is no hurdle for using, patents related to Kaletra. So earlier days, Gillette also were refusing, to use, their patent application related to remdesivir. But now they are also saying, that we are giving compulsory license and right to the different manufacturers or different companies or countries, if they want to use it, they can freely use that. But Gillette has some connected, some kind of conditions are there for granting compulsory licenses are there. There are companies like Medtronics are there. So they also have medical technology, global leader is there. So they have technology related to ventilator. So they are also giving, compulsory license or commitment, to the public, worldwide, that they can use their patents and they can use their knowledge of rapidly ventilator manufacturing for helping the doctors and patients. So these are voluntary commitments from the different companies are there. And recently, They have opened one open COVID licensing, open COVID pledge is also there, So under which if you see the website, opencovidpledge.org, you can see that majority of different companies, they are taking part in that and they are pledging their intellectual property rights for COVID. So here you can see the list of patent applications and patents and technologies, many manufacturing companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, you name it, HP, all these companies, they are pledging their patent applications and they are saying that this can be used for the, in the difficult time of this COVID, and they also have, different kind of, uh, different categories they have made. Like first category, they say OCLPCV 101.1. So whatever is there, they are mentioning, that till the WHO, they declare this pandemic is over. After some time also, they can use, any companies, they can use this licensing and these intellectual property rights are there. So many companies, they are taking part. So they are giving their intellectual property to be used by different companies. So you can see the list there by going into this Open COVID Pledge website, So you can see that many things are ongoing, like compulsory licenses are giving and many intellectual property pledge is also going. So many companies and many inventors are trying to help to come out from this COVID crisis. In the same time, there are some mischievous company. There are also some companies, organization. They are also going through litigation bar. So you can see that remedies where there Gilead has already committed, their license for compulsory license. But as I said that they have uh, asked for some conditions, terms and conditions. So what happens that in India there is a one association, Cancer Patients Aid Association, CPAA. So they are objecting, because recently in February, Gilead has got grant for one of their patent application in India. That is for remdesivir. So this CPA association, they are exploring the route of revocation for this patent application under the Section 66 of Indian Patent Act 1970. Because there are also provisions is there that whatever the granted patents are there, whoever is interested, they can ask for the revocation for granted patent. So this thing is also going on. And earlier time, in the January, this Labrador Diagnostic company is there. They have sued, BioFire company because they have patents related to testing kits. So they have two patents, and those patents will be used, by BioFire for uh, testing COVID-19, this coronavirus of COVID. So Labrador, they have sued, in January to this BioFire. But later on, Labrador itself, in February, they have disclosed that they are also giving compulsory license to the whoever is interested. So these are the things ongoing, Like Gilead was trying to get, orphan drug status in US. So what is orphan drug status is there? So if you have any drug and that drug can be used for the patients, the number of patients in US, if it is less than 2 lakhs, if it is less than 2 lakhs and any drugs is specifically used for any specific treatment, so government can issue orphan drug status. So what happens that under this orphan drug status, you can get, unfair monopoly for this drug and you can use immediately for the testing purpose for the limited number of patients. So Gilead were trying to get, orphan drug status for their remdesivir medicine in the USA. But later on in March, due to objections and by the different politicians and different pharmaceutical companies, they have not asked for this orphan drug status, but they have applied earlier to get orphan drug status for their remdesivir medicine. So what happened in Wuhan also that many Chinese company and researchers, they are trying to use, those patented products like remdesivir and many other drugs, they are trying to use and they are trying to protect within China. So in January 2020, what the Chinese researcher at the Wuhan Institute of Virology filed, they are filing a new patent, for covering the use of remdesivir. So they are trying to cover the use, means new way of use of this particular medicine, like you can say repurposing, repurposing of drug. They are trying to file a patent application. They are trying to protect it. So many Chinese companies right now they are also doing this way, and then whoever is right, they are trying to ask to the government and they are trying to protect their intellectual property rights. So this is, situation is that many companies, they are voluntary and they are pledging their intellectual property rights. At the same time, many other fraud companies or mischief people or companies are there. They are trying to protect their intellectual property right by different ways also. So both kind of scenario are there. So these are the main gist of this one, that how these intellectual property rights are playing important role in the COVID-19 and why it is important and what are the different examples I have given, of very well known. So finally in this section I am giving some notes, what are the things are going on, So there are some collaborations are going on for treatment development where 20 companies are coming together and potentially developing medicines for these, and then vaccine development, as we know, those collaborations are also going on, and for diagnostic also is going on, that how all these researcher, and companies and laboratories, they are working together and to develop the diagnostic systems and whatever the technologies are there in these COVID-19. And NHS is there particularly for the UK also, they are also trying to, develop, whatever the benefits are there and diagnostic and treatment for the patients. So many things are ongoing. In India also, you can see that recently different IITs, they are working in the research projects and they are also developing some products and services, related to COVID-19. You can see IIT Guwahati is at the highest number of research projects are ongoing. So out of 101, 34 are from IIT Guwahati. And already they are committed, funding for these around 120 crore rupees are there. So 208 research are going on and 101 projects are already going on in the area of COVID-19. So in India also, these research labs, and apart from these research labs, many other, research labs are also working for development of the vaccines and drugs and different, accessories and other things, like gloves and other stuff and sanitization tunnel, etc. development. They are also working in this one. So together, we are if because main thing, we have learned this way it is कि वो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में कि जो इनोवेशन जो है ना वो तभी होता है जब जरूरत होती है। तो अभी ये बहुत ही जरूरत वाला टाइम है कि कोविड-19 का जो टाइम डिफिकल्ट है, तो इसमें ही ब्रेन स्टॉर्म होगा और उसमें से ही नए नए इन्वेंशन आने के चांसेस है और उसी इन्वेंशन से हम इस जो पैंडेमिक है उससे बाहर आएंगे। तो मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन, so whenever we are facing challenging situation, then innovations and discoveries are coming out. So these are the very tough time is there. So my suggestion will be there, if you are taking in any collaborative work or any collaborative projects you are working, then you make sure that all the agreements are placed and you are going through, all the agreements are there, because it won't be possible. It means it may be possible, that someone is very smartly they are behaving and they are trying to protect their intellectual property right, but they are not protecting your intellectual property right. Innovators should protect their IPR rights. So this is one most important line, If you are innovators and you must protect your IPR rights. So what happened that if you don't protect and you say that okay, I will let society to use it, but by chance, any other innovators are there and they are developing the similar kind of innovations, they are protecting, then what happened? They will protect and they will make money out of this one. And even if you don't want to make, but other party, other innovators, they can start making money out of this one. So it is must for you to protect your innovations. And later on, when you have grant or you are working on that, you can decide, whether you want to give voluntary licensing or commercial, voluntary compulsory licensing to any other interested party or not. That you can decide later on. But as an innovator, you must protect your intellectual property rights. And if you are using any licenses, products or processes, you have to go through, different terms and conditions, whether you are not, coming infringing or you are not coming in litigation later on. So this is also important, that let's say that some, products you are trying to make it and some process you are trying to, you say that, okay, this is difficult time, we start using it. But maybe you have to see, different terms and conditions that you want, you should not end up in litigation cases also. And if you have just idea or you have work on, basic of your innovations, then there is a provision of filing a provisional patent applications. So I'm not going into this detail, but main message is that be generous, but be cautious too. So you can be generous and you can help, others. If you have any manufacturing units or you are researcher or you are working on any projects, you can be generous and you can share thoughts with other researchers, etc. But at the same time, you must protect your intellectual property rights, because now we are at the early stage, but you can see that later on also 1 year, 2 year down, that how this intellectual property is playing a role, that let's say if someone has, some pharmaceutical company has developed a vaccine, then those vaccines, it is going to be very costly, it may not be available to the normal public at the very cheap rate, because that may be, coming under IPR protection. We never know, so those things are there. And we must know, how the intellectual property is coming and how, why it is important even in the difficult time also. So thank you, and these are my, details of contacting me. So this is my company website. So if you have any query or anything, you can feel free to connect with me. And this is my WhatsApp number also. And before I go off, then this is announcement is there, that whoever has attended, web seminar, webinar, for them, there is assessment is also there on this website. So this website, opf.org.in/IPR. So if you go there, and then you will find the assessment, and this assessment you have to complete it, because there are couple of questions are there. You have to answer those questions, and this link will be active up to 7 o'clock only. If you answer, to this assessment, if you go through, then you will get, you will get certificate issued also. But whoever is going to take this assessment, they only will get certificate. So thank you very much for listening me. And if you have any query or anything, queries, you can type into the chat section, and you can communicate through Vikram. He is here. So we will be helped to, answer any questions or any queries there. Vikram?
Thank you, Dr. Paresh Dave, for enlightening our audience about IP and what is the role of IP in the era of COVID-19. Now the session is open for everyone. Everyone can ask the questions from Dr. Paresh Dave by self-muting. Anyone can raise your hand and ask the questions so by self-muting. Sir, one question arises from Dr. Ankit Sharma. What is the difference between registered and trademark?
So registered and
Trademark.
trademark. Okay. So so probably, if I understand correctly, his question is that if you have seen any logo or any trade name, so there is two signs are there. One is R is there, and another is TM. So when there is a R is there, or when there is TM is there. So if any name is already registered as a trademark, so it will have the R sign about that. And if any trademark is just applied for that, then it will have TM over that. So TM will be there represented when that trademark application is applied for, and when the trademark application is granted or is accepted by the trademark office, then it is known as registered trademark. So then anyone can write R over there. Is this answer to your question?
Sir, one more question from Nihari Kulkarni. Any drugs company are placing IP in current situation?
Yes, as I said, Kaletra, ABBV company, they are placing, their patent portfolio related to Kaletra, so anyone can use it. And Gilead is also giving, compulsory licensing based on some terms and conditions of remdesivir to the different countries and different pharmaceutical companies.
One more question from Kamaldeep Singh. How much time taken after applied for a patent?
Okay. So if generally, if you in current situation, if I say that if you applied for a patent application, then to get a grant of that particular means patent application, generally it will take 2.5 to 3 years. But there are also different provisions are there where you can get quickly examinations, and you can get it within 1 year also. But for that, the different categories are there, applicants categories are there, and some excess amount, some you have to pay for this one. But normal condition, you will get within 2 to 3 years, you will get grant of your patent. And if you go by expedited expressway, it will be within 1 year, you will get grant of your patent application.
The next question from Dr. Anurag Mishra. What is the difference between GI and appellation of origin?
GI and
GI and appellations of origin.
GI appliances of origin, so they are same on. So appliances of origin, like GI is there. GI, let's say I said that Assam tea and Rasgulla I said. So Rasgulla is not, may cultivated or anything is there, but Rasgulla recipe is there. Like way, if we see that some kind of silk is there, Mysore silk is there. So Mysore silk is there. So there is no cultivation or no natural products are connected to it, but the knowledge of the local people, they are connected to this one. So if you see appliances word, that appliances word, like if any appliance is there that is developed by the particular community, so those appliances can be used by different people. So GI and appliances of region is same only. If I understand correct, the word appliances of origin.
So one interesting question from Kamaldeep Singh. Pilot study of any research work comes under Patent Act or not?
Can you repeat what is a pilot?
Pilot study of any research work comes under Patent Act or not?
No, 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 no. Because pilot studies are there. So where you are using, means you have not started or you have not concluded, so you don't have the complete results and you don't have complete information about your invention, that you cannot get patent. But as I said, there is a one option of provisional patent application is there. So if you are working on the pilot project or pilot research, then you can apply for the provisional patent application and you can get grant later on. But other way, if I understand the pilot project is there, that like contract based research you are doing, that some company is manufacturing and they are giving you work on the pilot base or they are giving you work on contract base. So in these cases, you cannot get patent for that one.
Sir, one more question from Amit Charania. What is the duration of copyright?
Copyright duration is there in India, 60 years after the death of the creator.
And one more question from Sneha Verma. DRM nowadays more important. How we can secure our e-content?
GRM, what is that? I did not get the name.
DRM nowadays more important. How we can secure our e-content?
I did not follow. GRM is some name or what is that?
So DRM in nowadays more important. How we can secure our e-content?
Sorry, I did not get DRM. What is DRM? That's why I did not follow
So
that.
how we can secure our e-content? And I think we publish.
E-content. Oh, okay. So e-content, like let's say we are doing this webinar, and we are having this live, webinar is that. So that can be protected as a copyright one. So e-content is there, like nowadays, online classes are taking, different coaching centers and different schools, colleges, they are trainings, they are conducting through online. So those kind of contents is coming under copyrights.
So one question more from Kanika Gupta. In what scenario one can file a compulsory license case and who is eligible for that?
So compulsory license, in India, there is some terms and conditions are there, and some scenario is there. Let's say that terms and conditions like uh, one company, pharmaceutical company, is making a drug A, okay, and that drug A, they are not selling in India. They are just holding it patent, and they are not selling it, and it's not publicly available to the Indian public. So that is one condition you can apply for compulsory license. Second thing is that, like pandemic situation now, that Gilead is company having the drug manufacturing for remdesivir. So they won't allow any other company to manufacture remdesivir. But government can get, ask Gilead to give license, compulsory license to the other manufacturer. Or other manufacturer can go to the patent office and they can apply for the compulsory license and they can get grant for that one. So the main conditions are there. If any patented invention is there that is not fully used or fully uh, manufactured by the patent holder in the India. Second thing, that is not available to the Indian public at a cheap rate. Let's say some company. Okay. So let's say one company is making drug and they are selling, drug at very high price, that is not affordable to the Indian public. But one Indian manufacturer, they are trying to make it at a cheaper rate, and then they can go to the patent office and they can ask, to give grant for the compulsory license. Or maybe, let's say drug A is there. It happened in some time back, that one of the Hyderabad company, they wanted to export drugs to the Nepal, and the patent holder, they won't allow, they were not allowing to manufacture in India, but then they asked for the compulsory license for exporting to the Nepal. So in India, particularly, compulsory license is issued for the pharmaceutical company and drugs. So in India, there is a patent act is there. So under that, there are provisions are there for compulsory licensing, and majority of provisions are there for drugs only. So drugs, you can have different condition and different situation, and there is a procedure. One has to apply to the Indian Patent Office for getting compulsory license.
So digital right management is important in nowadays. How we can secure our e-content by digital right management.
Digital right management.
Yeah.
So that is also secured by copyright only. Okay, okay. So that is DRM, that earlier question you were
Yes.
saying. DRM. Okay, okay. So that is under copywriting.
And one more question from Dr. Sarmila. Will selling price order applicable for newly patented drugs?
Yes, yes, yes. Because that is depending upon how much you are selling price you are fixing, because there is different authorities there in India. The drug control authority is there, so you have to get license and you have to get pricing fixed from there. So I don't have detail about that, but that is different authority. They are controlling drug pricing for that.
One question from my side. In era of COVID-19 can change the procedure of any deadline. What is dependent on cross-border situation?
So cross border situation in related to what? Related
So,
to IP you are asking.
any deadline changes for any newly patented patent for related to COVID-19 drugs?
Yeah, yeah. So that is there. That as I said that any procedural delay is there. So patent office is now taking care of that. Related to IP patent applications or anything is there. If any delay in procedure is there, they are considering those delay. And they are granting those delay. Because this patent office is closed, so they are allowing after it opens you can apply for any patent application or any labs, anything is there. So same way in different patent offices are giving right, that many patent offices worldwide they are considering this according to their current countries, lockdown period and other things.
Any one more question from a person. Any career option is there in IP?
Can you repeat?
Any career option is there in IP?
Yes, yes. So there is a career option in IP is there. So recently, I also conducted one Facebook live, webinar, and we are also planning to go through with this OPF again, career opportunities, IP sector, we can organize very soon, Yeah, and I also have published, one small book is there. I don't have right now handy, but there is one book also I published, on career opportunity in IPRs. So Vikram, we can definitely organize one session for this.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah, anyone can ask the question by self-muting.
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yeah,
What
you
is
can
the
ask.
basic? Yeah, what is the basic procedure or basic steps involved in a patent filing?
Okay, so basic procedure step is that the let's say I compare, let's I assume that you are researcher, okay, and you
Yes,
are
sir. I'm
conducting research.
considering that.
Okay, so you are researcher, and let's say you are writing a research article, okay. So what happens that when you conduct a research, then you collect your data, and then you put it your lab notes, etc., and data together. You make tables, and then you go through literature, and then you are writing your research article. So same way, you have to write down a patent application, but only main difference is that in research, you are comparing your results with the earlier published results and earlier, conducted research, etc. But in this case, you don't have to compare like research article, but you have to give detail about your experiments and whatever the outputs and whatever the results are there and how it is going to be useful. That main thing you have to write in patent application. So in patent filing procedure is that you have to first draft and collect all your research data and whatever your invention is there, those details you have to write, and then you have to make kind of one present documents, and then you have to share with whoever is having experience of patent drafting. Because in patent drafting there is only difference is there is one more section called claims are there. So claim section is more important for patent application. So claim section must be drafted by the experienced person, or once you go through different patent application, you know that how you have to write claim section. So that is the main important. And there are different forms you have to file. So main forms, if I just tell you, there are four forms are there. Form number 1, 2, 3, 5. So these four forms are more important while filing a patent application. But that is information will be available on the patent office website. So if you want to write down, that is ipindia.nic.in. So ipindia.nic.in. So you will get the complete information regarding how to file a patent application.
Thank you, sir.
So one more interesting question from Dr. A.L. Rao. How we can convert national patent into international patent?
So, so first thing is that there is nothing called international patent, because patent is a territorial right. So wherever you want to get protection in that particular country, you have to file a patent application. So there is international patent procedure is there, patent application is there, but that is not international patent. That is only way of filing a patent application. So if I compare, that there is one internationally one Dropbox is there. So in that Dropbox, you can file your patent application. So that is called PCT patent application, and that PCT application, that particular Dropbox, that is shared by different countries. So that PCT application will be shared, and that organization will share your patent application to 170, 180 countries. So there is way, if you want to file international patent application, that is called PCT application, and that you can file, filing a patent, Indian patent application, but that you have to do within 1 year of filing your Indian patent application. But that is only for the procedure, you remember that. That is not international patent, that you cannot get grant internationally. You would not have right internationally for your patent, but that is only procedure of filing a patent application worldwide. So you can go through PCT application, WIPO, World IP Organization. You will get the different information in that.
Anyone can ask the questions. Now session is open for anyone. Anyone can directly ask the question from Dr. Paresh Dave by self-mute.
Sir, this is Irfan here. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm one. I have a patent. I'm an inventor for which I have a US patent, and
Okay.
this is on the. This is a process patent, and this patent, US patent, has been granted. And I've been the main person who brought this technology to the company. I don't have any agreement with the company, sir, to say that tomorrow if the company sells off the process patent, I don't have any agreement with the company, anything without me. By chance they sell and I don't get any benefit. How would I look into these things, sir?
Okay. So in your question, Your concern is that you have got granted patent, but the applicant is your company. Okay. So
Yes.
what happened that when you are working, anywhere in any organization, so they have, intellectual property right. You can say that kind of, commitment or IPR protocols are there.
Okay.
So every company, must have that IPR processes, and
Okay.
contract kind of things. That employment contracts are there. So if you
Okay.
have any employment contracts, you have to look through that one. And if you don't have any employment contracts, then you have to go to that US patent office, and then you have to say that, okay, I am not giving right to this applicant. But most probably when you have signed all these forms, while applying a patent application, you already
Yes.
give up your right by signing as an inventor.
Yeah.
So in this particular situation, all rights are already preserved by the company, but still you can negotiate with the company, that
Okay.
you can claim damages, and you can say that, okay, that you can see that any agreements are there as an employment, then you can explore that opportunity of legality.
Yeah, we have a employee contract. In that they have mentioned that it belongs to the company, and because I brought these things here personally because I'm a microbiologist. So keeping in trust with the company, I have already signed agreement for which shortly we will be granted EU and Canadian patent.
Hmm.
So that's the reason this question came up to me, and I thought I'll just anyway, sir. Further
No,
questions? Anything? Sir?
no, this is,
Definitely.
you see, that is why I said that when you
Okay.
work, in any research projects, or when you coming up with IP, then you must be aware and you must be protect your right immediately.
Okay, sir.
Because many instances, is coming, and then company won't give you any money like that, and
Mhm.
company will make profit out of your inventions, and they won't allow, means they won't give you the financial benefit or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. If anything is there, I'll just come back to you. Do have your contacts.
Sure, you can connect me, and then I will be happy to discuss further.
Definitely, sir. Because I have worked with all this IPCT, and I am aware of. I complete all the office actions till date. Actually, what and all has been granted, I have completed all the office actions myself.
Yes, but as an inventor, we will see,
Yeah.
because as an inventor, you can practice your invention. No one can stop you as inventor.
Yes. Yes. That
So
is there,
that
sir.
we have to see. Because if
Yeah.
you are inventor, then your name is there, and
It is there on the
you
patent form.
can, yeah, you can practice your invention. But only thing is that you cannot give license or manufacturing right to any other company.
Okay. Yeah, I'm aware of it actually. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your.
Thanks, Irfan.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Any more people available for questions? They can ask directly from Dr. Paresh Dave.
And I hope that you all are going through assessment also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have completed.
Because Vikram has put strict time before 7.
Anyone can ask the question from Dr. Paresh Dave. Sir, one of your friend from Bangladesh, Nabendu Bhattacharya ji, he
Oh,
congratulate you. He is
so
joining this webinar.
Nabendu Dada, Namaskar, and glad to glad to have you here, on this webinar. And Vikram, he is from Bangladesh, and he is a very
Yes, sir.
renowned IP attorney from Dhaka, and he is also practicing in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. And we are
Now,
also, means we are working,
sir, I am trying to
for
directly
trademark.
connect you. Nabendu, you are
And
self-muted. Please you self-mute yourself. You can ask the questions from Dr. Paresh Dave. From our side, we give you the access. You can ask directly to Dr. Paresh Dave.
Hello,
Yes, Nabendu.
hello,
हाँ दादा नमस्कार.
hello. Oh, Namaskar. I am very much thank you to you and organizer Mr. Bikram, and I very much congratulations to you that I know very well that you are a high profile speaker, and not only that you have lots of knowledge about the patent procedure system, and I know I already have been waiting from today morning that when it will be started, and I will be joined to know something, gather knowledge about the patent from you. And I have one questions to you already. I get the answered from you, and thank you very much. I am very much grateful to you, and I already obtained some questions and some information regarding the patent system in India all over the all over the world. Actually, thank you, most welcome. And
Thank you, Dada. Thank you.
in future any kind of webinar like that, please inform me. I will be join with you and Mr. Bikram also. Please. Okay. Thank you.
So, Dada, just to add, Vikram is also having one of the collaborator from Bangladesh, one pharmaceutical company. He is working very close with that.
Integro Pharmaceuticals from Dhaka.
Oh, okay. I think if you come in Bangladesh in future or like that, or if you have any collaborate with this company, please inform me. I will join with you if you come in Bangladesh.
Sure, sir.
Or any
Sure.
kind of help, I will there to assist you in Bangladesh.
Yeah, sir. It's our pleasure to associate with you.
So we can,
And I am
Vikram, we can discuss offline, if anything is, any queries or any collaboration is there, we can discuss with Nabendu also offline.
Yeah, sir. We can discuss
okay.
later with Nabendu.
Yeah. Thank you both of you. Thank you both of you, and convey my heartiest congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Dada.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
anyone having more questions? Otherwise, we are going to end this session.
One said hello. Hello.
Anyone can raise your hand. You can drop your question in question box.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please ask question.
What is the difference between intellectual property and intellectual property rights?
Okay. So this is one of the good question. So intellectual property is there when you have, just property is there. But when you ask for this, when you file a patent application for that one, that comes, your intellectual property rights. Let's say I have invention and my invention is just lying here. So I can say I have intellectual property right. Means I have intellectual property, I have thoughts, I have knowledge, and I have invention in my brain, and I'm using it, but I have not applied for intellectual property rights. So when I applied for intellectual property rights, and then I get grant for that one and I get registration for that one, then it becomes a intellectual property rights. Like researchers are there, so researchers are there and scientists are there. Those are intellectual property are there. But when those researchers and scientists they create some inventions and those inventions are applied for the protection, then it becomes a intellectual property rights.
The assessment is available on this link given below, opf.org.in/IPR. Here you open this link in your browser and you can directly fill the uh, assessment. This is open for everyone. And one more information for all, your certificate will be received on your mail in next 24 hours. Till next 24 hours, you not required to send any mail to organizers. Our team will working on that and we will send all certificates to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the information.
Yeah, who is this? Can ask your question.
No, this is Irfan here. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the information.
Anyone more available for questions? Otherwise, we are ending today's session.
So it was nice to have this webinar, and thank you Vikram for
Last 2 minutes
giving
to this webinar.
opportunity.
Yes, Amit, do you have any question? Anyone have question, they can ask directly to Dr. Paresh Dave. Otherwise, we are going to close today's session. In chat box, we not raise the repeated questions. Anyone can raise their hands if you have any kind of question. Okay, thank you, Dr. Paresh Dave, for connecting with us and enlightening your knowledge on intellectual property rights in the era of COVID-19. I hope all the researchers from across the globe who enjoy today's session and learn about the IP and how the intellectual property play a key role in the life of researchers and they how can empower and protect their IPs. Thank you, Dr. Paresh Dave.
Thank you all.
Now we are going to close today's session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.